Stop everything. Because the internet just exploded like someone lit a rocket in a fireworks factory and the sparks landed squarely on Rick Ross, Big Meech, and 50 Cent in a whirlwind of fictional chaos that makes the Kardashians' family feuds look like a casual brunch argument. It all started with a supposed revelation from Big Meech, a fictional exposure so juicy, so shocking, it had social feeds shaking, memes spawning faster than popcorn kernels in a hot pan, and fans clutching their phones like they'd just glimpsed a celebrity apocalypse, according to the narrative. Big Meech dropped secrets about Rick Ross that were never meant to leave the shadows. Names were whispered, past moments recalled, and suddenly Ross's empire felt the heat. And just when the rumor engines hit full throttle, 50 Cent reportedly jumped in, adding fuel, fire, and dramatic flair to a situation that wasn't even real. Tweets, TikToks, and memes exploded. Fans were dissecting every syllable, every pause, every emoji like it was a secret code meant to change the course of hip-hop history. If you thought you'd seen drama before, this fictional showdown makes reality look like a silent meditation retreat. Every moment feels like a cliffhanger, every reaction a scandal in motion. Hold on to your seats, because the chaos is just getting started and it's about to get absolutely ugly. The moment Big Meech supposedly dropped his fictional exposure about Rick Ross, the internet didn't just react, it detonated. Social media timelines combusted faster than fireworks on the 4th of July, and every fan, blogger, and armchair detective became a part-time investigator analyzing the clip like it was a classified FBI briefing. Ross, usually untouchable in his own narrative, suddenly became the center of a storm he didn't even know existed. People replayed the supposed revelation like it contained instructions for decoding the universe, and for a few hours, it felt like it might. According to the narrative, Big Meech didn't pull punches. His lines were sharp, measured, and vague enough to spark the imagination into overdrive. He referenced industry secrets, hinted at missteps, and implied stories that everyone thinks they know but nobody truly understands. And the audience went insane. Comment sections flooded with speculation. Was Ross being called out for past dealings? Creative disputes? Fictional allegiances gone sideways? Nobody had a clue, and that's exactly why it burned hotter than a paparazzi lens in Miami. Memes exploded immediately. One showed Ross in a crown made of burned contracts. Another had Big Meech holding a fictional scroll labeled receipts, while fans photoshopped 50 Cent into the background with a magnifying glass like he was about to interrogate the entire room. Every exaggerated visual amplified the narrative, turning a single fictional video into a digital spectacle bigger than any real feud in recent memory. And the more absurd the edits, the more seriously the audience treated them. Logic had no seat at this party. The fictional clip didn't even need context. Just a smirk, a pause, and a carefully enunciated phrase like "some things aren't meant to stay quiet" had people theorizing for hours. Users analyzed his voice tone, hand gestures, and eye movements frame by frame. One micro-expression, proof of guilt. A subtle nod, evidence of conspiracy. The line between reality and imagination blurred so quickly. It was like watching a live-action comic book unfold in real time. Then 50 Cent reportedly jumped into the fictional drama, adding gasoline to a fire that didn't even exist yet. His social media commentary, cryptic, sarcastic, and exaggerated, immediately fueled speculation. One post said, "You know I see what's up," with no explanation. Fans took it as confirmation that something huge had been revealed. Meme pages exploded with dramatic interpretations, inserting captions like, "Fiddy enters the courtroom," and "Ross better answer now." In the world of internet speculation, even a wink or emoji can become evidence. And the audience treated every pixel like a smoking gun. Bloggers and entertainment channels went full investigative mode. Entire breakdowns appeared titled "Big Meech exposes Rick Ross, Fiddy reacts." They rewrote timelines, recontextualized old interviews, and pieced together what they called a decades-long pattern of behavior, all based on one fictional leak. People didn't care that none of it was verified. They wanted drama, and the narrative delivered. Fans debated motives, intentions, and imaginary consequences like this was a courtroom trial. Comments flew so fast, algorithms struggled to keep up. And the story became bigger than any one person's ability to track. The fictional exposure also sparked wild retroactive theories about Ross's past projects, collaborations, and friendships. A casual lyric from years ago became proof of hidden alliances. Old interviews were scrutinized like encrypted messages. People claimed subtle references in his music hinted at industry secrets, imagined betrayals, or coded apologies. Every unrelated detail suddenly mattered. And as the internet collectively overanalyzed, the fictional narrative snowballed into one of the largest imagined scandals ever recorded online. Fans also turned 50 Cent into a narrative anchor. Every reaction, every cryptic tweet, every sarcastic comment was elevated to near prophetic status. Some said 50 was orchestrating a takedown. Others claimed he was delivering justice on behalf of the streets. Memes proliferated showing him as a vigilante judge, handing out invisible verdicts, while Ross was photoshopped sweating under the spotlight. It was absurd, exaggerated, hilarious, and completely mesmerizing. Reaction videos, TikToks, and live commentary fueled the frenzy further. Creators slowed down every frame of the fictional clip, paused the audio to analyze tone, and narrated imagined internal monologues. Every exaggerated hypothesis was treated like a revelation. Fans debated back and forth about who had leverage, who was telling the truth, and what would happen next. And the more confident the predictions, the more viral they became. It was a full-scale, self-perpetuating drama machine powered by imagination, speculation, and internet adrenaline. In less than a day, the fictional exposure became a cultural event. Screenshots, memes, commentary threads, and reaction videos spread across platforms. Even casual observers found themselves pulled in, debating motives, intentions, and outcomes. The narrative, though entirely imagined, had achieved viral life of its own. It didn't matter that Ross and 50 Cent hadn't actually engaged in any confrontation. The audience had built a scandal universe entirely in their minds, and they were living in it like it was reality. By the end of the first wave, Big Meech's fictional reveal had set the stage. 50 Cent's entry had escalated the stakes, and Rick Ross was, in the eyes of the public, a central character in a drama that spanned imagination, exaggeration, and absurdity. The stage was set for even more chaos, and the internet was ready to explode with speculation, memes, and wild theories. This was only the beginning. Once 50 Cent's fictional reaction entered the equation, the narrative exploded like a volcano that had been simmering beneath the surface for decades. Every post, tweet, and snippet of commentary was dissected like it contained government-level intelligence. Fans debated his motives. Was he defending the streets, protecting the industry, or simply stirring the pot because drama is his oxygen? Meme makers went berserk, editing him into action sequences from Fast and Furious, John Wick, and even Gladiator, wielding microphones and gold chains like weapons of justice. The audience didn't just watch, they narrated, animated, and amplified every imagined second. The frenzy triggered a second wave of speculation. People began combing Rick Ross's past lyrics, interviews, and social media posts for signs that might confirm Big Meech's fictional exposure. A throwaway line in a 2015 track? Proof of secret deals. An Instagram story of a luxury car? Evidence of braggadocio masking shame. Every detail became a potential bombshell, and the more irrelevant it seemed, the more people insisted it mattered. Digital detectives argued over nuances, over-interpreted emojis, and debated hand gestures as if the universe itself had hidden the truth in plain sight. Reaction channels turned full detective. One host paused the clip frame by frame, whispering into the microphone about micro-expressions, alleged power shifts, and unseen tension. Another livestream claimed to decode Big Meech's body language, arguing it signaled generational secrets spilling into the public eye. Viewers posted their own breakdowns, recreating imaginary conversations between Ross, Meech, and 50 Cent. Every reinterpretation sparked new discussions, memes, and viral edits, amplifying the chaos in ways the original fictional clip could never have anticipated. Then the celebrity commentary layers kicked in. Influencers and minor rappers weighed in with cryptic posts. One tweeted, "Power moves aren't always public," and the crowd immediately connected it to the fictional exposure. Another posted a photo of a gold chain with the caption, "History repeats itself," and fans claimed it was directed at Ross. The internet, fueled by assumptions and anticipation, constructed entire storylines around posts that had zero confirmed connection to the drama. Every vague signal became evidence. Memes escalated to cinematic levels. One showed Big Meech holding a scroll labeled "Exposed," Ross sweating in a golden throne, and 50 Cent entering in slow motion like an action hero. Another looped 50 Cent walking through a mansion, overlaid with dramatic text reading, "Justice is served." Eventually, even satirical edits like 50 Cent riding a fictional dragon to deliver the exposure gained traction. The memes were chaotic, hilarious, and completely amplified the fictional storylines, cementing them in digital folklore. Fans split into factions. Team Ross argued that the fictional exposure was exaggerated, claiming Ross had nothing to fear and that the whole drama was built by overzealous internet detectives. Team Meech insisted Ross had skeletons in closets, interpreting every ambiguous statement as confirmation. And Team 50 Cent, they hailed him as the ultimate judge, jury, and chaos agent, the wild card in a narrative where nothing tangible had occurred. Comment sections became arenas of verbal sparring, full of gifs, all caps outrage, and sarcastic one-liners that could cut through steel. Discussion spiraled into speculation about historical implications. People argued that if Big Meech had exposed Ross in real life, it would ripple through hip-hop culture for decades. Others suggested 50 Cent's fictional intervention signaled the return of old-school street politics clashing with modern celebrity energy. Fans debated imaginary alliances, betrayals, and strategic moves as if they were watching a season finale of a scripted drama. Even minor details like outfit choices, past collaborations, and social media frequency were analyzed as potential clues. Reaction videos became a form of interactive storytelling. One popular TikTok creator narrated a hypothetical meeting between Ross, Meech, and 50 Cent like a live court trial. Another made a dramatized montage of clips, adding intense background music and slow-motion shots of each participant. Captioned, "The exposure you weren't ready for," audiences watched, rewound, and theorized in real time, feeling as if they were part of the investigation. The fictional narrative had evolved into a living, breathing ecosystem, self-sustaining and escalating with every repost. Even casual fans found themselves swept into the drama. Tweets like "I can't believe this is happening," and "Someone explain what just went down" dominated timelines. People who weren't even following hip-hop closely suddenly became experts, analyzing the clips, screenshots, and posts with the confidence of seasoned detectives. Every minor interaction became evidence, every speculative comment a revelation. The intensity was addictive, the chaos was magnetic. By the end of the second wave, the fictional exposure had grown beyond a single video or tweet. It had become a multi-platform spectacle. Memes, commentary, analysis, and speculation feeding into each other in a feedback loop. Even satire editors who tried to mock the story ended up amplifying it, because every exaggeration made the narrative feel bigger and more consequential. The public had fully transformed a single fictional moment into a digital blockbuster, complete with plot twists, dramatic interventions, and cultural stakes. And through all of it, one fact became undeniable: the combination of Big Meech's fictional reveal, Ross's imagined vulnerability, and 50 Cent's dramatic entrance created a storm so potent that it no longer mattered what was real. The story had taken a life of its own. Social media, memes, fan theories, and reaction videos ensured the fictional drama reached legendary status, escalating beyond comprehension. Everyone watching knew one thing: the next move, real or imagined, could explode timelines all over again. As the fictional chaos entered its final act, the narrative began to settle, not because the scandal was over, but because the internet had exhausted itself spinning theories, memes, and reactions. Big Meech's alleged exposure, Ross's imagined fallout, and 50 Cent's dramatic fictional intervention had become folklore in digital form. Social media users began scrolling past the endless commentary with a mix of awe and exhaustion, realizing they had collectively participated in creating a scandal universe entirely out of imagination. Screenshots, GIFs, reaction videos, and memes were archived like historical artifacts. Proof that the internet had turned speculation into legend. People started reflecting on what the fictional drama revealed about the culture itself. Comment sections shifted from yelling matches to meta discussion, how quickly rumors escalate, how easily audiences assign motives, and how effortless it is to transform silence into explosive truths. Users acknowledged that the frenzy had less to do with Ross, Meech, or 50 Cent and more to do with the audience's appetite for spectacle. Every tweet, clip, and meme had amplified itself like a self-perpetuating machine, creating emotional highs and viral tension where none had actually existed. Fans and influencers alike pivoted from frenzy to introspection. Analysts wrote threads breaking down the anatomy of a viral fictional feud, dissecting every over-the-top reaction, dramatic meme, and viral tweet. They pointed out how speculation fuels itself. One exaggerated interpretation leads to 10 more, and soon everyone believes they are witnessing history. Some even joked that the internet had collectively produced its own reality series, starring Ross, Meech, and 50 Cent as unwilling actors in a play of their own making. Laughter and awe intertwined as viewers recognized the absurdity of their own obsession. Despite the fictional nature of the scandal, memes continued to circulate. One of the most viral showed Ross sweating under a spotlight, Big Meech pointing to an invisible scoreboard, and 50 Cent stepping in like a referee from another dimension. Fans laughed, shared, and commented with dramatic flair, treating the scene as both parody and epic saga. Every exaggeration, every absurd edit, only solidified the story's status as cultural mythology, proved that the spectacle mattered more than the facts. The aftermath also revealed the strange power of ambiguity. No one knew what Big Meech really said. No one knew what Ross really felt. And 50 Cent's fictional entrance had zero confirmation. Yet the uncertainty itself was addictive. Audiences were captivated not by resolution, but by the possibilities, by the thrill of interpreting, theorizing, and debating. The scandal had become a collective exercise in imagination, where each fan could rewrite events, assign motives, and create tension according to their own desires. It was interactive storytelling at its most chaotic, and everyone wanted a front row seat. Even casual fans who had not followed the unfolding drama were pulled into the spectacle by trending hashtags, viral clips, and exaggerated commentary. People shared the most ridiculous theories, some claiming insider knowledge, others joking about conspiracies so elaborate they rivaled fictional spy thrillers. The narrative's absurdity became part of its charm. The more exaggerated the claim, the more it spread. Fandom, humor, and curiosity combined to create an unstoppable digital wildfire. In a strange twist, the fictional scandal inspired a wave of commentary about celebrity vulnerability and public perception. Users reflected on how figures like Ross and 50 Cent, even in imaginary scenarios, are constantly scrutinized, overanalyzed, and mythologized. Some fans commented that the drama highlighted the pressures of fame, suggesting that even when conflicts are fictional, audiences project intense scrutiny onto public figures. In this way, the story became not only entertainment but a mirror reflecting the nature of modern celebrity culture. By the end of the saga, one thing was clear: the fictional exposure had transcended its origins. It was no longer about a single video, tweet, or rumor. It had become a living, breathing story shaped by thousands of viewers, creators, and meme makers. Ross, Meech, and 50 Cent had unwittingly starred in a viral epic, one that blended suspense, comedy, exaggeration, and absurdity into a digital tapestry. Social media had turned speculation into legend, ambiguity into drama, and imagination into cultural memory. The final lesson of the fictional saga: scandal thrives less on truth and more on human curiosity. Fans wanted drama, they wanted tension, And they wanted the thrill of discovering secrets, real or imagined. The spectacle had taken on a life of its own, reminding everyone that in the world of viral gossip, perception often outweighs reality, and imagination can be more contagious than fact ultimately. The fictional exposure became a cultural touchstone, screenshots archived, memes shared, reaction videos rewatched, and hashtags trending long after the imagined events had faded from memory. It proved that a spark of drama, no matter how fictional, can ignite a wildfire of engagement, speculation, and collective obsession. In the end, the scandal wasn't about who said what. It was about the world watching, reacting, and amplifying, proving that in the age of social media, even fiction can feel dangerously real. And so the fictional feud between Big Meech, Rick Ross, and 50 Cent became legend, not for evidence, not for confession, but for showing how far imagination, exaggeration, and sheer viral energy can carry a story into eternity. And there it is, Scandal Hunters, the fictional showdown between Big Meech, Rick Ross, and 50 Cent that shook timelines, melted algorithms, and proved once again that the internet doesn't need facts to create chaos. One vague video, one cryptic comment, and suddenly the world treated it like a full-blown blockbuster. Fans dissected, analyzed, theorized, and memed their way into a frenzy, all while the truth remained as elusive as a unicorn on a private jet. And that, my friends, is the art of digital drama. Now it's your turn. I want to know, who did you side with in this fictional chaos? Team Ross, defending the throne? Team Meech, orchestrating the revelation? Or Team 50, swooping in like the wildcard referee? Drop your hot takes in the comments. Don't hold back, this is where theory meets imagination. And we're reading everything. And if you thrive on these over-the-top breakdowns, these absurd viral narratives, these exaggerated analyses that turn one clip into a cultural event, smash that like button like it just leaked a lifetime of secrets. Hit subscribe like the world depends on you witnessing every twist, every reveal, and every dramatic reaction. Turn on notifications, because Truth Tattle doesn't just cover scandals, we magnify them, dissect them, and deliver them hotter than any rumor you've ever seen. Here, every whisper gets amplified, every ambiguous comment becomes viral, every imagined confrontation turns legendary. So stay nosy, stay chaotic, and stay tuned, because the next fictional feud, the next cryptic comment, the next viral exposure is always one clip away. And Truth Tattle will be waiting to break it down like only we can.